Stand by to receive our transmission.
Hello, this is Spec Ops 56 and welcome to my man cave. This video is my entry into the FredHart Gear Obsession channel contest where he's giving away a cold steel Voyager Vaquero folding knife. It's a very nice knife. I hope I win. Now, Chief, you've asked us to do a very hard thing. You want us to show you our one favorite folding knife. Well, while I'm not a hardcore, serious knife collector, I am a gun and knife guy. And asking a gun and knife guy to narrow down which gun or which knife is his one favorite is like asking a guy to narrow down which testicle is his one favorite, the left one or the right one. From one squid to another, Chief, can't be done. So I've narrowed my choices down to the following four choices. Okay, Chief, you asked for it, so here it is. This is as far as I could narrow it down as far as favorite folding knives go. These four right here. Now the first one is the Spyderco Endura. This is the original Endura that came out about 1990, and this has been my carry knife, my EDC, ever since I bought it in the early 1990s. And there's a lot of things that I like about this particular knife. It's just the right size, I think, not too big and not too small for an everyday carry, tactical type self-defense knife. Now I like the Zytel handle or frame because it's very strong and it's very lightweight. I like the length and the shape of the blade. I like having the half serrated, half straight, because the serrated part really helps when you're cutting line and things of that nature. And I like the big thumb hole for opening it, because I'm not one of these guys that can just flick the thing open like it was a switchblade or something. And I like the fact that this thing has held up extremely well over the years. The quality of the steel is second to none. It holds an edge like no other knife I've ever owned. I think maybe in all the years that I've had it, I've sharpened it maybe once or twice. And I also like the fact that the clip on it puts it in the tip-up position, which is harder to find these days. And I happen to find that a faster deployment method. I like carrying it that way better. Also, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, this was made in Japan, not China. So that's favorite knife number one. Favorite knife number two is my, coincidentally enough, cold steel Voyager. This is a rather large knife. This was also made in Japan, because I also bought this one back in the 1990s. This one happens to be the Voyager Tanto. And I had originally bought this thinking that I might carry it. but it's just much too big, much too heavy for comfortable carry as far as I'm concerned. You can see it compared to the Spyderco. It doesn't look like there's a great deal of difference, but there actually is. It is much heavier, and that's because as you can see here, the thickness of the steel used in it. And for this reason, this is my workshop knife. This is the knife that I keep in my gunsmithing toolbox out in my workshop, and I use it for any kind of cutting chores that I might encounter out here. And I've been using it for years, and it's also, as you know, top quality steel. Cold steel always is, and it holds an excellent edge. It's another one that I've had to sharpen very few times, and it gets a lot of use and abuse out here. So that's favorite knife number 2. The next one is my little Swiss Army knife, Victorinox. I forget what the model is. I think it's the Champion or something like that. I can't really remember, because this is one that I bought probably in the 1980s. And for a long time, this was my EDC knife, until I decided that the way things were going out on the mean streets, that I would prefer to have an EDC knife that would work better as a close quarters backup weapon than this little thing right here. Now, it is, however, a really handy knife. I like it because it has all the essential tools without any waste and without all the bulk. This has two knife blades. I probably use the small one more than any of the other, more than the other one. Yeah, it's got the bottle opener, can opener, flathead screwdriver, large and small, and on this side it has your standard hole puncher and your Phillips head screwdriver. It also has the built-in toothpick, which I've never used to pick my teeth with, as well as the built-in tweezers, which I have used to remove splinters from my fingers before. So there's that one. Now, last but not least is this one here. This is what I call my Sunday go to meeting knife, and it's just a little lockback, basic lockback folder. And as you can see, it's pretty well scratched up, dirty, seen a fair amount of use, and it's got my initials engraved on the bolster. Now, what's special about this knife, at least to me, is the fact that I made it. Back in the 1980s, when I was in gunsmithing school out in Trinidad, Colorado, during the summertime, they had a couple of short classes in knife making, and I decided to take them. In one class we made a folding knife, which is this one, and in the other one we made a fixed blade knife. Now, the blade and the lock spring, those were bought commercially made already. Everything else, the brass frame, the pins, and the ivory micarta scales, had to be made by hand and fitted by hand with files and stones. And so that's what I did. I used just your basic brass for the pins and the frame, and then ivory micarta. Now, over the years, carrying it in the blue jeans pocket, the ivory micarta has soaked up some blue staining as well as other dirt in it, so it doesn't look as nice as it once did. but I'm pretty proud of it. First attempt. It took a lot of work, a lot of handwork, a lot of fitting, putting it back together, a little bit more stoning, put it back together to get it just right. And the biggest thing is getting the spring just so. And as you can see, this one's fitted quite well, if I do say so myself. So, Chief, this is my entry into the contest. If I win that cold steel Voyager, I plan to give that to my best friend, because he's a real hardcore knife guy and I'm not. I mean, I'm a knife guy, but I'm not a real hardcore collector type knife guy. So I'm going to give it to him for his collection, and I know he'll like it. Well, I enjoy your channel very much. I really enjoy the Plate of Truth segments. And whoever wins, I hope that your subscriptions increase exponentially. This is Spec Ops 56 saying, hasta la vista, baby.
Now on the sidewalk, ooh, Sunday morning, lies a body just oozing life. And someone sneaking round the corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife?